Are you ready to know what you don't know about equines? Then you're in the right place. This is the Raven on the Ranch Show, a show bringing you equine experience from around the world. Brought to you by Heartland Ranch Education and equine businesses everywhere. And now, here's your host, Rockin' Raven.
Welcome to Raven on the Ranch. I have Ryleigh Corlett from Saddle Up in the studio today. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So, we have lots to talk about. So, first of all, Saddle Up, where is it located?
Saddle Up, we're located in Gilchrist, Colorado, right off of Highway 85. We're probably 20 minutes south of Greeley, roughly. So if anyone's familiar with like Platteville or LaSalle, we're basically smack dab in the middle of there, just right off of Highway 85.
Yeah, we're running a little slow here. I don't know what's happening. It's got to be the internet. So many things at Saddle Up. First, I'd like to talk about the important thing is fitting your saddle.
Yeah, so we really pride ourselves in offering saddle fits to our customers. We go off and on site, so we can travel to you or you can come to us. A proper fitting saddle is really important for, optimum performance for the horse, for safety of both the horse and rider. Ill-fitting saddles can cause a whole loads of issues, whether that's behavioral or even physical to the horse. And overall, people who have or who are equipped with saddles that fit their horse tend to have better relationships, perform better in the arena, in the rodeos, and just overall have a better experience. Saddle fitting is definitely something we really push to our customers. We want everyone to be safe, and we definitely don't want to sell a saddle to anyone, especially if we're not 100% certain it fits. So we definitely pride ourselves in taking that initiative and not just making the sale, but making sure that everyone is taken care of, horse and rider.
Right. So I'm sure there's so many people out there that think, oh, you just go pick out a saddle. Explain to me the difference between fitting the person and fitting the horse, or doing both of it.
Absolutely. So sometimes we have customers come in and ask, I don't know what my seat size is. Now, if they're new to the horse world or they've ridden in the same saddle since, you know, the early 2000s, they've had it forever. And they're like, well, this is just the seat size I've had. A general rule of thumb is about 2 fingers from the rider's thigh to the swell of the saddle, but it all comes down to comfort overall. So there are some riders who do about 1 finger from their thigh to the swell, and there's others who do even upwards to 3 or 4. So the general guide is great for new riders, and I think as riders get into different disciplines, they tend to sit differently in their saddles based off of whether they're doing like reining or ranch cutting, or if they're doing something like barrel racing where you like to be tighter in the seat. Myself, I do mounted shooting, and
Do
we tend
you?
to like to be, yes, for the most part, most mounted shooters like to be nice and snug. It is also a fast-paced sport and there's tight turns as well. So it really can depend on what discipline they're doing and just what the rider is going for. But all in all, it can be fairly simple to figure out their seat size just based off that guide. But all those other factors come into it that just are based on what the rider wants and what they're comfortable in.
Front Range Trail Riders. We're a group of horse enthusiasts in the great state of Colorado. We enjoy traveling and exploring, trail riding, and camping with our horses and friends. We have many activities for you and your horse, so please come join us year-round. You can find Front Range Trail Riders on Facebook.
There's a tree to the saddle,
Yes.
and that's what fits the horse.
Yeah, so your saddle tree, is like the bones of the saddle. So it's the skeleton where you put all the leather, all the hardware, padding, everything, and that's what it's built on. And each maker has tons of different saddle trees. There's no one size fits all. Every saddle or every tree, excuse me, in different makers. One maker's wide could be very different from another maker's wide. So, it's very difficult to come in and say, hey, I need a wide tree, just because, well, this maker's wide may have a different angle to the bar compared to this one. And so it might not fit your horse. And most of the time, that is the case. Every saddle tree is very, very different. And so how we fit that to the horse specifically, we put the saddle without a blanket or pad underneath, and we line it up with the horse's scapula, and we are feeling from that very front tip of the bar all the way back. So the way I kind of describe it is you just want really nice contact. You don't want any place that is not making any contact at all because you might be bridging, or any places where your hand can't move at all because it's so tight. So that's going to be a pressure point, right? Um, and so you really want a nice, consistent feel throughout the entire tree bar. A lot of people in the horse industry get really hung up on just the gullet measurement of a saddle tree. And there's so many pieces to the puzzle than just that gullet measurement. That is just one very small part. And again, I have makers that say I have a HR saddlery trail and like a billy cook barrel, both with a 7-inch gullet. They do not fit the same at all. And so the gullet itself, the gullet measurement does not determine whether or not that saddle is going to fit your horse. It's the whole tree bar is very important.
Kylie Howe, a riding instructor focusing on intermediate instruction in the Franktown, Elizabeth, and Parker, Colorado areas. Have a horse? Need a refresher? Kylie even gives barrel racing lessons. Be more confident in the saddle. Your horse, your tack, with an experienced instructor. Follow the link to Kylie Howe.
And what else should people look for when buying a saddle?
They should really look for, definitely within their budget's means, but it's nice to get a nice highly crafted saddle. You're gonna have better leather. It's gonna, in my opinion, it's gonna be more worth in resale, right? So if you ever need it, or if your needs change, I think really investing in your saddle is a really great thing. But at the same token, like, not everyone can do that, and there are some really great options too that are more economical as well. So I think really kind of doing your research in the brand. Are you looking for more of, a lot of the time, are you looking more into a trail discipline or like something different? You want to make sure that you're getting the right discipline saddle for yourself as well, and what the rider would be comfortable in.
Now, when you do saddle fittings, you said you do off-site. There's got to be a limit. Like, you're not going to go to New York, right?
So our offsite saddle fittings they're more so cut off in Colorado. I think at this point the farthest we've gone out to is Eagle, Colorado. I think those are case by case basis. Our saddle fitter will kind of talk to the customer and work that out. I would say there's never been a set limit put in, but definitely I don't think we've reached that point where someone's asked, hey, can you come out here? And that would kind of just be determined, I guess, by the case, and if they were okay with the price. So we offer saddle fits at our store as well, and
So do you
they're
bring
going to
the
be.
horse? Do you
Yep,
bring the horse to
yep.
the store?
Yes, so our customers can bring horses to the store. We have about 2 acres to the side of our store that's fenced off. We have a corral pen. If they feel they want to put their horse in there or tie to the trailer, either works. But it's just $35 for a saddle fit at our store. And the really nice thing is we have all of our stock handy, right? So we can spend, tons of time sitting the customer in saddles and then also trying lots of different options for the horse too. Um,
When you do an on-site, do does the customer usually come in first and pick out some saddles that they want? Try them on for
you know,
size in the store?
Generally for uh if the customer drives to us, they kind of do that all at their saddle fitting appointment. So they also sit in the saddles during their saddle fitting appointment, and then we take them out to the horse. For an off-site saddle fit, if they are local to us and have the ability to drive to us to come sit in some saddles, it does give us some good direction as to, what does this customer like? Or we can look at pictures of their horse's back and say, hey, this is probably more of a tree we think will work for your horse, and kind of sit them in those saddles and see what their favorites are. Obviously, when we drive out to people's homes or barns, uh, we can only take a limited supply. We don't have like a huge trailer by any means for carrying saddles, maybe one day, but
Right.
we do take like about anywhere from like 7 to 9, just depending on the amount of horses or what the customer's looking for or what we have in stock. That's been a really big issue as well recently.
So are
So,
you having trouble because of the truckers or just shipping or?
I think it's been a collection of a lot of things. For a while, we get a lot of half synthetic, half leather saddles, and the foam to create those saddles for the Cordura was non-existent. So um, we had lots of saddles on order for those half synthetic, half leather. They're one of our top sellers just because they're lightweight. And we still don't have very many in. So that foam shortage really put a damper in that whole system.
It has a lot to do with the COVID thing and everybody not being in the warehouses, right?
Exactly, exactly. My understanding was that leather was also hit hard for a while, even the hardware. I know we had tons of saddles that were ready to go, but there was no hardware to put on them, so they couldn't finish it. So that was like the one of the last pieces before they could get shipped out. Um, so it's been a collection of a lot.
HW Designs, a gift shop, arts and crafts store, and boutique store. Does your truck smell like a ranch? We have handmade car freshies that can take care of that. We also have many custom sublimation items like t-shirts, blankets, and so much more. Look us up on Facebook at HW Designs.
So your store is also online.
Yes, yes. So I'm one of the managers here, and I handle all of our online sales and shipping. We really started kicking off on our online store back in 2020 when COVID hit. And ever since then, we've really just grown and grown. Every year we're growing about 40% in our orders, which has been really amazing. Last Christmas was our biggest yet, and it was a little crazy, but we were really grateful. It was really awesome. So everything we have in our store, we do list online. Our website is just like any other. You can go and shop, and it's also kind of like a catalog for our saddles too. So we put all of our new and used saddles on there, and people can shop there for saddles. I ship daily, so every day except Saturday and Sunday orders go out of here, so we have really quick turnaround time. And all the tack items we get, we are uploading new things weekly. So I think we had about 4 pages of new items that we had this week on a report, and so those are all getting listed. And they should be about finished up getting listed today, and that cycle just continues, so we keep adding more.
Good for you guys. You can try out a saddle.
Yeah, so we have a really awesome saddle trial program. There's two kind of separate variations of it. One is our local customers. So a lot of the times when people do get a saddle fit with us, they do take saddles on trial. We let them take up to 3 saddles. There's no down payment necessary. There's just a little contract to sign, and then they can go take them out on some light rides and give them a shot. And so we like to do that. So um, we make sure that the rider's comfortable in the saddle. We've done the saddle fit for the horse. We know it's working there, but we want to make sure it's good for the rider too. But also sometimes, when folks are sitting in saddles in our saddle stands, it just feels different than when you're on a horse. And sometimes their favorite one on the saddle stand is their least favorite on the horse. And so they get that opportunity to try that out. We also have an online saddle trial program through our website, and it's a little different. So they do pay all up front on the saddle, but they have 7 days after the saddle is delivered. So from the date of when the saddle is delivered to them to start a return with us. So if that saddle is not working for them or it's not meeting their needs, they can do that. Obviously, if it's a new saddle, it does have to be returned in new condition, but we do offer that as well. And the only downfall, and just because we're a small business, is the shipping cost would just be their responsibility, and then we do a little restocking fee, but it's really small. But it's just to cover, because we get dinged when we first run it and then dinged again when we do the return. But we want to make sure that even our online customers are also taken care of and given the opportunity to try the saddle, other than just getting it, buying it, and being stuck with it.
Are you ready to know what you don't know about equines? With our programs, you can study at home at your own pace. We offer a variety of courses for you. So start learning today at Heartland Ranch Education.
And you do this because it's a small family-owned business.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
and we have to support small. We have to.
Absolutely. Tack shops and saddle shops in general are a dying breed. There's a lot of online competitors. I think tack shops really, we're doing very, very well with the online. And right now, with how scary times can be, and fuel prices are way up and all of this. So, and horses are, at the end of the day, a recreation for most people. And so they're not necessarily a necessity, but definitely we have some amazing customers, and our online customer base has been amazing. And it's really, really kept us going through, like some of the COVID times and everything. It's
So tell me a little bit about the owners. It says that Settle Up opened in 1997.
Yeah, so the owner, her name is Dana, and she is a really awesome lady. She bought this business from her father. So he started it in 1997, and he started it with about, I believe it was 17 saddles out of a garage. And that's how this all started. And eventually, I believe it was I think it was about 2010 when she finally took ownership. I might have that date or that year off by a year or two, but it was roughly about that time. And ever since then, she's really taken off with this business, and it's been really amazing. We've grown so, we've done so amazing for ourselves. I think we have roughly about 9 or 10 employees now. About 3 of us are full time, and we have really great support from our employees. We're just like a really big family. Like it's a really fun environment to work in, and we like to have fun, but also be really efficient and be proactive and productive.
And I think the great thing about small businesses is that they are family, and they're family owned, and they're not corporate. And when you get together with the other employees, you're all working for something, where corporate,
Absolutely.
it's a job.
Yeah, exactly. I think everyone who's here really puts their whole heart into it. That's for sure.
Are you ready to fulfill your dream of riding? Michaela Davis is a fundamental beginner trainer, and she's ready to help you fulfill that dream. young or older, for anyone who loves horses. Michaela teaches at Canyon Ranch Riding Club in Colorado. Contact Michaela today and start living that dream.
Before we go on to well, I have many more questions for you personally, but let's talk about your bangtail box.
I came up with this idea for the subscription box a couple years ago, but our old location was just too small. We used to be out of Longmont, and it was just a pole barn, and now we're in a building 3 times the size with offices and everything. and uh, so we just couldn't make it happen in the old store. There just wasn't a whole lot of room, honestly, to make that kind of happen. But I did get it going last summer, and essentially it's a monthly subscription box, and they can get, a mix of tack items, rider accessories, horse health items, just some fun, every part of it is equine related. But it's about $50 a month, and it's free shipping. And right now we offer it to anyone in the United States, and it's really been a lot of fun, and I'm just hoping to keep growing it.
Do you have customers come in whose horses have passed? Do you have anything in your store that they can do with the tail hairs of their horses?
We don't, unfortunately.
I do.
Memorialize that works. Oh, you do? That's so cool.
It's on my
Is that a
website.
crystal?
It's resin, and it has horsetail hairs and then a horseshoe in it. And you can get a necklace or a keychain. And then there's also a rectangle one for men.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's really awesome. Yeah, I will definitely let customers know, because unfortunately we hear about that a lot, sadly,
I know.
and it's really, really sad. But I will definitely let them know, because I've had people ask about, memorializing their horse, and so I'll send them your way for that.
And I wasn't pushing my business, but I was just curious if people come in.
No, you're
question.
no, absolutely. And that's what small businesses have to stick together, and we love to share
Right.
other businesses that are around us. Another tax store who's relatively close to us, the Latigo area, we have a really great relationship with them too, so we
Good.
definitely don't, we are all about being proactive. Our customer appreciation sale, we have tons of local vendors coming and setting up, and we even have another tax shop who's coming and setting up. So, we're not that way. We definitely want to be supportive of each other. So.
Well, that's the next thing I wanted to talk about, your 25th anniversary. Woo! And that is June 3rd through 5th, 2022. June 3rd is 2 to 6. The Saturday the 4th is 10 to 6, and the 5th is noon to 4. So what do you got going on those days?
Sure. So our customer appreciation sale, and we're tying in the 25th year anniversary in this year. And we do this annually. Biggest, funnest event we do. And we put a whole lot of time into this event, and we really want to let our customers that we appreciate them. So we put pretty much everything in our store is on sale. We even do saddles on sale. We do tons of giveaway items. So we have amazing vendors that we reach out to every year, and they send us giveaway items, and then we pass those to the customers to win in giveaways. And we have like a spin to win. We got some custom Yetis with that. We created a logo specifically for it. And it's going to be on our bags, the tote bags that people get with a purchase, and all sorts of fun stuff. So we're going to make it big.
That is awesome.
June 4th will be our biggest day, that Saturday. Most of the vendors are coming and setting up. And then, like I mentioned, the barbecue food truck, Chase and Smoke, will be setting up on that day as well. But every day is a fun day. On Friday, we're doing a little special for the early birds. Essentially, they get a tote bag with goodies inside it too with the purchase. So, that's kind of an incentive to come in on Friday as well. And like I said, it's all together. We'll have cookies and lemonade for free for everyone, and it's always a party,
And you're baking all those cookies yourself, right, Ryleigh?
I wish. I think we get some really yummy cookies, I think, from Sam's Club, but they're summer.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Ryleigh, and you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You too.
That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll be back. I'd like to thank Saddle Up and Ryleigh Corlett for being on the show today and teaching us about fitting the right saddle. Make sure to head out to Gilchrist, Colorado this weekend, June 3rd through 5th, for their 25th anniversary sale. And always remember, to gentle a horse is to gain its trust, not to break its spirit.